What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Inspire, Create, Manifest podcast. Welcome back to the studio. Today, we are staying with our theme of the month. You are the signal. We are the signal. Your frequency is your marketing. And now this is for businesses, also individuals, because like it or not, we're always marketing ourselves. And your energy is the first feeling that everybody is picking up on when you walk into that room. And come on, we've all been there. We've been in a room of people and someone walks in and the complete energy in the room shifts, either for the good or the bad. I'm sure you've been in a room when someone magnetic and charismatic walks into that room and you feel that shift. Same thing when Debbie Downer walks into the room. You feel that shift, and that shift is going to take over the room in either way, right? When that magnetic person comes into the room, what is going to happen with everybody in that room? Yeah, you're going to feel more magnetic. You're going to feel that energy. You're going to be more in line with being your most authentic self, not hiding, not playing small. But if you're in a room where Debbie Downer walks in and you feel that energy just go from really big and bright down to, oh no, the whole room shifts. And the room shifts and everybody in that room gets smaller and shrinks down because they don't want to offend Debbie Downer. They don't want to be too big. But what happened? That energy that they brought into the room changed the dynamic of the room. You have that same power. You are doing it. You may be that person that walks into the room and amplifies the room. You might also be the person that walks into the room and just totally crushes the mood. This is where these practices come into play. Simplicity and awareness. Cheap plug at the book, pre-order, you can get it, right? But these are simple practices. Are we being mindful of our energy and the energy that we are sending out into the world? This week, energy, frequency, marketing, creating that vibe that you are giving out into the world. We're going to be exploring the teachings of Norman Vincent Peale. Norman is an old minister, author, probably what some would call one of the new thought teachers. He wrote The Power of Positive Thinking. And in The Power of Positive Thinking, he believes faith plus optimism are not moods, but practices. I'm going to say that again. Faith plus optimism are not moods. They're practices. And by practices, they're choices. Are we choosing to have faith and be optimistic? Or are we choosing to say everything sucks, everything is horrible? Did you see what happened this weekend? Choices. Those choices are practices. We have to practice to choose what we want to feel, to choose what we are amplifying out into the world. Some of his teachings, here are 3 quick shots. Your mind is a transmitter. I feel like everybody should write this down. Your mind is a transmitter. What you focus on, others will pick up. The universe, God, source, will also pick up on what you're focused on. Where is your attention? Second, wow, how about that? Faith fuels frequency. That's a tongue twister. Trusting in something greater raises your vibration. Faith will fuel your frequency, which fuels that energy that you are transmitting out into the world. And then positive thoughts plus affirmation. Repeat it until it shifts your emotional state. And yeah, it's really hard because if you've been in a state of feeling like everything sucks, everything sucks, everything sucks, it is such hard work and practice to try to get yourself to believe that everything doesn't suck. If you've been surrounded by people that are literally like, oh my goodness, everything is horrible, we're all going to die, this is the worst thing that has ever happened to anybody, that feeling, that energy, that affirmation whether you realize it or not, is an affirmation, is going to take 10 times the amount of work to start coming back to normal, coming back to a baseline, coming back to a space where you feel that, you know what, things might not actually be that bad. But we have to do the practice. You see, unfortunately, with negativity, we are doing that nonstop unconsciously. That practice has been so ingrained in us that we don't even realize that we're walking around saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not fast enough, and every other thing that we are not good at. But how many of us keep on a constant loop? I'm safe, I'm secure, I'm taken care of. Everything is working out for me. Remember, your mind is the transmitter. What you focus on is what comes back. It's that signal that we're sending out into the world. Your faith is fueling your frequency. Do we have faith that I am safe, that I am smart, that I know what I'm doing, that I can put myself out into the world, that I can be that person that when I walk into the room changes and shifts for the good? Can I choose that frequency? And then can I bring it back to positive thought and affirmation? Can I wake up every single morning, put my feet on the floor and say, today is going to be an amazing day because I'm safe, because I'm secure, because I'm not living in constant survival, I'm living in abundance. But how many of us walk around and say, there's not enough, there's not enough, there's not enough? That puts us into a space of survival that won't allow us to get to where we want to be. These are simple practices, simplicity and awareness. Yep, plug in the book again, because it's all about simple practices, bringing awareness to them. Can we simply choose every morning how you want your day to go? It's a simple practice. Do we have enough awareness to say, I am going to make this choice every single day? Remember, Norman Vincent Peale's believed that faith plus optimism are not moods but practices. Faith plus optimism are not moods, they are practices. So I want you to take a moment right now and think about the signal that you are transmitting, that you are broadcasting out into the world. Is it a positive signal or is it a negative signal? Think about it. We're not judging, but think about it. Now, I was just listening to Alicia Silverstone on the Dax Shepard podcast. And she was talking about in her early days, she was, let's say, a freedom fighter. And she was always going out speaking on the things that she was against. Fine, totally fine. She also realized after someone told her, what if you let people ask you about it instead of preaching or evangelizing? Everybody knows your thoughts and feelings. What if you just let people ask you about it instead of saying, I am against this? And what if, just what if, we change it? I think Mother Teresa said this, instead of being against something, before something. So instead of telling me what you were against, tell me what you are for. Think about that signal that you are now emanating out into the universe. We're not saying I am against this and I am against them and I am against that. Instead, I am for this. I am for these things. I am for raising the vibration in these areas. I am shining my light. You see what happens there? More people are going to be interested in what you are for than what you are against. More people are going to have conversations about uplifting and supporting than how can we tear this down? Let's tear this down. We got to go to war with this thing and we got to bring it to its knees. What if we forget about that thing that we think we need to bring to its knees, and instead we just focus on what we were doing? What are we creating? The signal that we are emanating out into the universe. So now that we're in that space, what am I broadcasting right now? Ask yourself the second question. We're going to wrap up the episode with this question. If someone tuned in to your frequency today, if your frequency was a radio station and they tuned in to your station today, would they be feeling fear or would they be feeling faith? Would your radio be broadcasting fear or would it be broadcasting faith? Sit with that this week. When you wake up in the morning, I am going to set my radio station to broadcast and claim the signal that you're broadcasting. And notice what happens throughout the week. Notice how the week goes if you consciously make a choice and an effort to bring the simple practice of awareness into the signal that you're sending out into the world. Let me know how it goes. Send me a message. If you have not yet, please, I invite you to pre-order my book, Simplicity and Awareness. The pre-sale is live. The actual launch of the book is September 23rd. It is short, sweet, to the point. Each chapter has little daily practices that you can explore. At the end of the book, there's a 7-day reset that you can go on to bring these practices into your life and allow that awareness to move through you. Remember, the frequency that you are sending out into the world, that's your choice. That's your radio station. Is your radio station broadcasting faith or is it broadcasting fear? Thanks for being here. I love and appreciate you all. Please like, subscribe, share, do all of the good stuff. Pre-order the book. If you do pre-order the book, let me know because we're going to be having a little celebration after the release with everyone that pre-ordered and supported on this process. Thanks again for being here. Now get out there and be that signal that you want to magnetize back to you. Have a great day, everybody.